just a boy. Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Hello, Star Wars fans. You know, there's just 130 days until Christmas 2024. Well, thank you all for being here today. I want to shout out to you guys for keeping this channel going and to keep the discussion going here. You guys are the best. And Fitz, I see you there. Karen, thank you for being here. Brandon, hello. And Jedi Mike. You know, I haven't talked to Jedi Mike in the longest time. We need to have another community stream and talk about Star Wars. Maybe we'll be able to do that soon. Mike Porter, the chosen pun, is in the house. Good to see you. The Sabersmith. You know, this guy here, he's really, really wanting some animation news, and so am I. And actually, I know some things, and he knows that I know some things, but unfortunately, there's just a lot that I can't share yet. And Matt Risman, hey, I've been chatting with Matt this morning, and you know, this Ray delay thing, it's getting annoying. So we need a Star Wars celebration, you know, next year, 2025. And unfortunately, this is what's annoying. We're going to have to wait until Celebration, I think, to get the news that we have on that front. There is news on that front, by the way. Just nothing that I can share. Oh, Brandon, I think I already said hi to you. Let's see, who else is here? Mike Yaney. Hello, Mike. Thank you so much. I'm doing fairly well. Been really busy at work. They've got me covering some production support in addition to developing apps. And I'm supporting a bunch of applications that I don't know anything about. So when something goes wrong as a production support and you don't know anything about it, I don't know what the application does. I don't know who built it. I don't know anything about it. And they say, go fix it. Well, it takes a minute. It's a little difficult. Dale, Skywalker's Academy, good to see you here as well. And of course, there's a lot to talk about as far as that. D23 went last week. We had a stream last Friday, and we were talking about our hopes and expectations for D23. And just as an overall, I say that it went really well. But there's a lot of things that I'm aware of, and that I had hoped that we were going to get some announcements on, but we just did not. Matt says it makes sense because it was Celebration 2023. They announced the film was coming. Makes sense that'd be 2 years before they do any real update. No kidding, Matt. Look, I've been chatting with Matt this morning. There's some other things that I'm well aware of, and some things that I'm not at liberty to talk about, but there's some things I do want to talk about. And I want to first of all say, this coming Monday, we are going to have another one of our monthly Zoom calls with Santa. I will send out the link to all of our Patreon supporters, all of our YouTube members, and I'll put it in the members only portion of our Discord. And on Monday, on the Zoom call, I'll be able to share spill some tea, let's say. I'll be able to share some things that I can't share here, be able to talk about things that I can't talk about here. And if you are one of our channel members and one of our patrons, you don't want to miss Monday's call. I'll tell you that, right? So if you can work out to join us on Monday, that's what you want to do. That's definitely what you want to do. We'll have a fun discussion come Monday on the things that I want to talk about, but I can't talk about. So we'll do that. Also, I was you guys. One thing about the Star Wars community, and one thing that I saw Meg even tweeted today is that is that this fandom as a whole, if you were to judge the fandom just off of social media, you would get an entirely different perspective of what this community is. You might come up with an opinion about what this community is that is different from reality. You guys, when we meet in person, when you go to the store, or you go to some medieval festival, or you go to some Comic-Con, or you go to one of these events like D23, there are Star Wars fans that just love Star Wars, and they love talking to other Star Wars fans about Star Wars. And we get along really, really well as a community. And you know what happens when we disagree about things in person? When we're at a celebration, or I went to a Comic-Con last year with a couple of friends of the channel here. Yachty was there, and if you've seen her, Yachty's a huge animation fan. We're going to talk about animation. And Dawn Basham, Dawn was there. And we were able to hang out. And sometimes we were in line for things, and we'd get talking to other Star Wars fans, and they'd be like, "There's no way you like this." I say, "I do like that." And they'd be like, "No way." I mean, way. And we would have these kind of discussions. They're fun. They're friendly. There's nothing adversarial about loving a thing that other people hate, or hating a thing that other people love. It's just a warm, friendly community. And, part of this Star Wars community online that I've been working to build, you guys know some of my friends here. Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. Jason is okay, by the way. I've chatted with him just a little bit earlier today. I texted with him quite a bit over the last week or so. And Jason's fine. He's just busy. He's working a lot. Bespin Bulletin, talked to him. Bespin's way over there in Wales, right? Meg is here. And we have vast differences of opinion on different things, even within Star Wars. But there's another friend of the channel that some of you may love and some of you may hate. And it's EBN, Echo Base Network. Matt Risman is one of the core members of that community. And I was watching a live stream yesterday of EBN. And there's some folks cross over. We have some EBN folks hanging out here. And I've seen some of their biggest followers come over here to hang out with us. And, there's a difference of opinion between Coach and Nick and myself on a lot of things, within Star Wars. But Nick, Coach Coach and I have become friends outside of Star Wars. I was just texting with Nick this morning, or with Coach this morning, and one of the folks over EBN, one of the folks that they have gotten really close to, is a guy who went by the legendary Tron. And the legendary Tron was a guy who was severely disabled and who had forget the disease that he had, but it just escaped my brain. I know what it is. It just it went. Now I've got a different thing in my head. But the legendary Tron, this guy lost his battle. Cerebral palsy. That's it, Matt. He lost his battle with his health. He had surgery recently, and he passed away. So prayers go out to his family, those folks who are friends with him, people that were impacted by his life. He impacted a lot of people in his life, and in a very positive way. And he was dear friends with EBN. They did several events where they got to meet him, and sad to hear that he passed. But as Coach said last night, my faith, his faith, is that he was a person of faith, that today he's has a new body and can live without the pain and suffering that he had in this world. So it's not a time to really grieve for him. It's a time for us to grieve because he is been taken away. Darth Elvis is in the building. Oh, hello, Greg. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you here. So just wanted to shout out there, EBN and the legendary Tron. You'll be missed. Yeah, he'll be missed in the community for sure. And this is something that within the Star Wars community, you guys can disagree with me on all kinds of things, and we can have a lot of fun. But yes, look, Jedi Mike's been here. He knows that I've got Darth Cheeks hanging on a big old picture on the wall over here. I see it every single day. I have been plagued with this vision of Darth Cheeks that's printed out and hanging on my wall. All right, you guys, let's change tracks and let's talk about D23 a bit, shall we? So there was a lot of news came out of there, and I'm going to share something with all of you here. Let me bring this up. This was sent to me today. It says, is this real? So one of the things that we had coming out of D23 was this schedule. We know the first thing coming up, well, first thing coming up is actually already started, and I started watching it just yesterday, was season 2 of Young Jedi Adventures. And I bring it up because in episode, hold on a second, I put it in the chat. Episode 5, season 2, episode 5 of Young Jedi Adventures. They find a ship that appears to be abandoned, and they go onto the ship and they find this droid that was in basic shutdown mode, and they start up the ship, and the droid awakens. Well, the droid has a certain personality of a yar there matey kind of pirate. He is fantastic, fantastically entertaining. And these kids, right, from Young Jedi Adventures, have this deal here with the pirate captain of the ship, the droid. And at the end of the episode, so a thing goes on. At the end of the episode, they jettison this guy off in hyperspace into some very, very distant portion of the galaxy to maybe never be seen again. Of course, maybe he will be seen tomorrow. Who knows? But episode 5 of the Young Jedi Adventures, I find very interesting, and I'm curious to see this skeleton crew when it comes out, like December. So you can see here on this schedule, they have a 2-episode release on December 3rd. Now, this is not an official Star Wars source, so that's why the question of, is this real, was a good question. So December 3rd, 2 episodes, and just doing the math, that we know there are 8 episodes in the series. That puts episode 4 on the 17th of December. Episode 5 on Christmas Eve. Oh, as I just said, it's 130 days until Christmas Eve, and episode 5 of the Skeleton Crew. That'll give you something to watch on Christmas Eve, because what else would you be doing on the 24th of December other than sitting down to, stream something on a streaming service? You're like looking for something to do on December 24th. You're bored. You're just sitting around doing nothing. What else is there to do? Oh, look, Skeleton Crew. It's weird, right? It's a little odd, as Matt Risman said. It's a little strange, but it gets better. It gets better because the very next episode, just one episode after that, comes on December 31st. Another day filled with just mundane, nothing going on. Of course, who would be meeting with family, friends to maybe watch some football, to cheer in the new year, listen to and watch the Skeleton Crew, right? So you could do that on New Year's Eve. You can back to back holidays, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, just improved by getting to watch an episode of the Skeleton Crew. Then we get the last 2 episodes, January 7th and January 14th. Now, look, I'm not mad about it. I'm not angry. There's nothing about it that makes me like, oh, those people at Lucasfilm, what do they do? No, it's fine. It's all fine. It's just odd, as Matt put it, right? Why? Well, why? Well, because now they have this Tuesday release thing, and when we get to watch it at some reasonable time, and the people over there in the UK or Europe, they get to watch things at like 3:00 in the morning, and definitely Christmas Day at 3:00 in the morning. If you're Kieran, Christmas Day at 3:00 in the morning, what better does he have to do than to get up out of bed and watch the Skeleton Crew while unwrapping gifts? Or January 1st, New Year's Day. You stayed up to ring in the new year. You stayed up till midnight, and you bang the pots and the pans, and you shoot some fireworks. You maybe go out in the yard, fire off a few rounds, whatever it is you do where you live. Those things. By the way, I'm having a little bit of fun. I live out in the middle of nowhere. All right, I live in rural America, and if people go out here and they fire off a couple of rounds into the sky, those things come down. So I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying I know people do it. And when I'm here where I live, you certainly hear it at night when it happens all the time. So don't do that. Think about where those things are going to come down. So they're PSA. But if you live in the middle of nowhere, it's miles before your neighbors. You may want to shoot them up. Have what do you. Just do that. Yeah, fireworks sound good, but at 3 a.m., people will be a bit annoyed. True. So, Kieran can get up right after celebrating the new year, get up at 3:00 in the morning on New Year's Day and catch an episode of the Skeleton Crew. Good fun. But you know what comes before the Skeleton Crew? And Young Jedi Adventures just released. And again, I've watched part of it, but there's another show coming out here right before the Skeleton Crew. and I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but let me just play this trailer in the background. The Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. Oh boy, I love the Lego specials. I think they're fantastic. I love all of them, the Star Wars and the non-Star Wars. I think they're great. They're irreverent. They're funny. Lego Batman is, and the Lego movie, where everything is awesome, right? Good stuff. Good stuff. And this looks fantastic. I am super excited for this Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. That's what we have coming up next. I think the release date September 13th. September 13th, we get to see the Rebuild the Galaxy. I can't wait. I cannot wait. It looks fantastic. I love the comments in here. You get here's where you get Mark Hamill voicing Luke Skywalker, kind of taking a jab there at the sequels. Look, I'm a sequel fan. I love the sequels. I think the sequels are far better than the prequels, but that's funny. Darth Jar Jar's in it. We get dark side Rey in here, and even it looks like a dark side Rose Tico. So all of that looks great. I can't wait to see it. This will be a lot of fun to watch, as most of these Lego specials are. So coming up just in a month, September 13th, less than a month now. Oh, and there's a good scene right there. Let me just go back 1 second. I got to stop it because it shows, look, this is the prison outfits from Andor season 1. And it looks like they might even be there where there's one way out, one way out. And you have Yoda here, and look who's standing near Yoda. We got right beside him Mace Windu taking a peek over the edge. Do I think I can make the dive? Can I swim? Oh, can Mace Windu swim? And what about right on the other side? This General Grievous. General Grievous. Look who they're hanging out with, right? General Grievous is hanging out there with Yoda and Mace Windu, and this is look, is that Mon Mothma back there? Fantastic! Look at that. These guys are awesome. I can't wait to see it. Super hyped for that. And I think the blacked out Millennium Falcon is amazing. Blacked out Millennium Falcon. I didn't know I needed it until I saw it. That is just tremendous. So we have that to look forward to just in a month. Really excited for that. So there's an animation update for you. Although this isn't like, official Lucasfilm stuff. It's Lego. None of it's canon, all of that, right? So good fun there. And then we talked about Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew comes right after that. And, well, not right after, right? September, you got to wait all the way until the Dark Falcon has flown off the shelves. Literally. That thing is hot. It is fantastic. Super cool. A blacked out Falcon. Like I said, I didn't know I needed it until I saw it. And I'm like, oh, need. If somebody wants to get Santa a gift for Christmas. Oh, blacked out Falcon. Oh my goodness. So here, the Skeleton Crew. This trailer came out. I know this is all Outlaws. There was a new trailer came out for Outlaws. And Outlaws is getting some decent reviews from folks who have actually played the game. It's getting decent reviews. The questions are more about the company that makes it and the pricing model. Between the price for this thing, right? It's a chunk. It's a chunk of cash to get this thing, and then the company that makes it has a bit of a bad reputation amongst many folks. And then there's all the DEI stuff and everything else that people are bantering about. At the end of the day, is the game fun to play? Is the game good? Is the content in the game good? I'm not a gamer, so I can't talk about it all that much, but it looks like, just from some of the folks who have played, As a True. You guys may know As a True. He is a friend of Making Star Wars. He's shown up over on Jason Ward's channel a few times. As a True got to play the game, and his reviews have been pretty solid. So I tend to trust folks like that. And for those of you looking forward to the game, it looks to be really good. Again, the price point, I think, is the biggest thing to be concerned about. So Hondo was confirmed for Outlaws as well. Was he? I did not see that. I did not see Hondo Ohnaka. And there's been some talk. Will Hondo Ohnaka show up in the Skeleton Crew? And I want to come back to that because you guys got me talking about Hondo. I saw this article come about. Smuggler's Run ride at Disney Galaxy's Edge. So that's where you get to sit in the Falcon and you get to fly the Falcon on a mission. Smuggler's Run. It's a fun ride. I got to fly the Falcon. I got to sit in the driver's seat. I got to sit in Han Solo's seat. It was great. I had a great time. But it's getting an update. It's going to, it's announced here, it's going to get a Millennium Falcon. It's going to arrive in Disneyland and Disney World sometime in 2026. So that's some time off. And the reason I mention that is because Hondo Ohnaka is involved in the story of this ride. So, and Hondo Ohnaka, if you haven't seen him, he's a fantastic pirate. They don't have his picture in this story. Scroll down. Yeah, but it's not important. He's a pirate. Hondo Ohnaka, one of the most lovable and memorable members of the pirate, right? He's fantastic. Oh, there's Yachty. Hello. Oh, this is Outlaws will be on sale by Black Friday. I'm a patient woman. So Yachty's going to wait for it to go on sale. So this Skeleton Crew trailer, and I'm going to slow this down. We're not listening to it anyway. And you guys have already seen the breakdowns. I don't need to break it down for you. If I let this play, let me here. There's a couple of things that this trailer is getting a little bit of criticism around. And one of them comes up fairly soon. It's Suburbia, right? So this show starts off, or at some point, it takes place in Suburbia Star Wars. And this Suburbia Star Wars, right here, they're riding the bus, going to school. They're bored, these kids. They're looking for something fun. This is tomorrow's test, right? They've got school assignments. You see them going to school. You see Suburbia. There they are in this huge auditorium kind of thing where they've got to take a test. They're going to set the course of your entire future. Well, there's no pressure for a kid. You're going to take a test. When you take this test, it's going to set the course for your entire future. No pressure whatsoever. But anyway, they got to take the test. And you can see here that it takes place in Suburbia. The landscape coming up. It's getting criticism because it looks too, Earth-like. I will say I'm fine with it. I think most people who I've heard give the criticism also acknowledge like it's not the end of the world. Star Wars in Suburbia. I'll say there's a bit of wonkiness here when they're out walking in the grass. You can see where you've got a Thorian, right? Right here, this scene, the kid running on the grass here. You can tell it's like imposed on the scene, that they're not really walking on, like, it looks odd, right? The kid running across there when they go onto the grass looks a little bit odd, but I don't think the whole show is going to be that, right? It's going to start off there. They're going to set up the environment where these kids are looking for stuff to do. They're bored. They've got school and mundane every day. And they come across, she says, I found something buried in the woods. Perfect start to a Goonies kind of setup. We've heard that given before. Amblin Entertainment, which ties back to Kathleen Kennedy, by the way. We can talk about Kathy in a little bit if you guys want to, but she was involved with some of those iconic Amblin shows, and the ones that have lasted generations. And they find this place to say, we think it's an old Jedi temple. It's a lost Jedi temple. So good fun. And there's a comment here that comes up in the trailer where it says the Jedi they ended like 30 years ago, which again gives us a little bit of a time frame to run this off of. If it was 30 years ago and the Jedi disappeared, say around the Attack of the Clones, right? Prequels era, then you don't count like Luke coming back and all of that, because you got to back it up. And we know that the show kind of overlaps a little bit with the Mandoverse, so you get that as well. It looks good. Look, I'm excited for it. I'd say optimistic for it. There's the skeleton, right? Skeleton crew, and there's skeletons in the thumbnails and stuff. I'm very optimistic, but you guys know me. I've enjoyed at least some aspect of every single Disney Plus Star Wars show, animation, live action. I've enjoyed them all. I've enjoyed going on the journey with you and doing our predictions every week. I've enjoyed watching them. In many cases, I've enjoyed going back and rewatching them, and it's a fun thing. And I'm looking forward to the Skeleton Crew. I am also concerned because the fandom, I heard somebody put it this way before, it is not monolithic, right? The Star Wars fandom is huge, right? It's enormous. So one of the biggest fandoms of any in the world, in any context. But with that comes a lot of diversity of opinion. And I've used different analogies, and I got to thinking about it again. It's the Baskin Robbins, they have the 23 flavors. Of course, they've got way more than that of ice cream. You can love ice cream, but certain flavors aren't your favorite. And I think Star Wars is like that, right? Star Wars is just delicious treat. It's fun. It's an escape. It's one of the things that are, you take a lot of pleasure in watching, and a lot of enjoyment. You go back to nostalgia and memories of growing up, and with it come all those member berries, right? All of that stuff. We love Star Wars, but maybe folks don't like every flavor of it. And does Star Wars need Goonies in space? Does it? Does it need it? I don't know, but I think I'm going to enjoy it. Will everybody enjoy it? I don't think so. I think this series from the online fandom is going to get its fair share of criticism. And there's going to be a fair amount of negativity from folks who just are not on board for Goonies in space. They're just not, and they're not going to enjoy it. And that's fine, I suppose, right? Not every flavor is for everybody, and if it's not for you, then I hope that the one after that is, or that there is something already that you can go back and rewatch. Say Mandalorian season 1 or Mandalorian season 2. Go back to the original trilogy, for Pete's sake, right? And all of that should be something that brings back that joy of. And you don't have to get too upset because you didn't like one thing or another. And I know my friend Meg, Star Wars Meg, she's not the biggest fan of The Acolyte, but I went back and I rewatched it again after the whole thing ended, and I like it. I like it. I would not mind at all to see Leslie Headland do a few more seasons of it. I don't think it's likely, but I'm just saying that's my own opinion, right? So you go to the Baskin Robbins and like, maybe it's not your favorite flavor. But you're like, you know what? I think I am going to try that pistachio ice cream this time. It's not that bad. I kind of like it, right? so, I think this is going to get its fair share of negative reactions because it's going to be a little campy. It's going to be a little goofy. It's going to have some nonsense in it. And by the way, it's going to fall into the same trope that a lot of other shows do when you have coming of age characters in them, right? It happened with Harry Potter. It's happened with Percy Jackson. It's happened with Star Wars. It's happened. You could just list them off. Where the preteens, the teenagers, they're the smartest, most capable people in the series, and they're the ones who saved the world, right? Some 13-year-old, they're the ones that saved the universe, or the the wherever they are from disaster. And this is going to be the same, right? You're going to have kids, they're going to save the universe, and all the adults are going to seem incompetent. That's just the way these coming of age shows are. All of them are that way. And it's the way it is with coming of age stories. So, brace yourself for that. If you don't like that, you're not going to like the show, I think. Yeah, Percy Jackson season 2 is coming in. Fitz and I, Kiara and I share in fandoms of many things. So, Skeleton Crew. That's the news on Skeleton Crew. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll be watching it every week. I may not do a live reaction on Christmas Day or New Year's Day. You think about the Star Wars content creators. Christmas Day, Santa's going to be busy. Christmas Eve, Santa's plenty busy, right? Not going to be doing Star Wars coverage those days. So, yeah. After that, I'll be fine. Yachty, for once, I think they have finally been honest about what this show is about. That would be super helpful. And I think that's one of the things that hurt the Acolyte, to be honest. I think that they came out with the whole thing that was going to be about the Sith, and then it wasn't a lot about the Sith. The Sith were tangentially part of the story, but the story was more about these sisters who came back together. And, I covered that here, so we're not going to go too deep into that. So we talked about the nice. This show is about the naughty and nice of D23. We've talked about the nice things. There's a lot of nice things. Another really big part of the story is with Andor, season 2. Season 2 of Andor. There's been they played it a little bit on the D23 that you can't watch anymore, but it looks great. The visuals look great. We would expect it to, but Matt Risman shared this earlier today, and I thought I'd bring it up. Entertainment Weekly. Diego Luna says Andor season 2 turns Rogue One into a different film. I believe so. And I've mentioned a few times, I may mention a few more. The Acolyte is this way with me. Once I knew that Soul acted selfishly, and that the problem with the girls and everything that happened after that kind of sprung out of Soul's selfishness, not only Soul, but the other guy, Torben. Soul and Torben, they both acted kind of selfishly, but really Soul is the core character than that. His selfishness led to a bunch of bad things to happen. And you go back and rewatch it, you get a little different context. So the same thing here. You're going to watch Andor season 2 and go right into Rogue One with a little different perspective. And I'm going to skip down here in this story because there's a really good part down in here. Let's go. Let me make this a little bigger so you guys can read. It says Luna relishes getting a chance to complete the full story arc with characters first introduced in the film. So you're going to see why K2 is important to Rogue One. And I love K2, right? K2 is just fantastic. Very, very good. One of my favorite droids in all of Star Wars. And then it says, not only that, says the final season of Andor will permanently change how people view the movie going forward. I think people watching Rogue One after season 2 are going to see a different film. Everything will be signified differently, knowing what had to happen for K2. Super sad story, but yeah, for K2 to be there, it's going to make you witness the journey of Rogue One in a different way. And not just with K2, but with many other characters. It'd be really cool. I love the idea of getting K2's backstory. I love K2 as a droid, one of my favorite. It says, it seems Luna has already thought about the marketing opportunities. This Diego Luna says, I'm sure someone from Lucasfilm and Disney will give us the opportunity to watch season 2 and then go straight to watch the film on a big screen with tons of popcorn and friends around. Oh, sign me up. Oh, every time they do this, they do it in like select cities that are not close to where I live. And there's no possibility I could do it. But boy, with this push to get us back to theaters, how awesome would it be to go to the theater, get to experience a Star Wars with your friends, and then maybe rewatch Andor or Rogue One. It says, when it comes to the probability of Disney following through with such a plan, it says, we will quote this wise philosopher, K2SO himself. It's high. It's very high. Oh, I hope that that's the case. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, I'm close to nothing. That's true. I am close to nothing. It's a problem where I live, right? So, Meg finally dropped her video today. Hey, how about that? I'll have to catch it right after the show. So that's the Disney Plus coming this year. The only other thing really big at Celebration was the Mando preview. And they're further along in this than we thought. Now, we reported on this before. Making Star Wars reported on it. We had our friend Bespin Bulletin with us last week. And Bespin shared again. We had already had news that they had begun filming on the Mando Grogu movie. Boy, they're further along than that, right? They're further along than we thought. Some of the clips they showed from this were very exciting. And now that's been taken down offline. And this is where I will complain on the naughty side. We'll kind of transition is that why have they not released this on their own channel for people to go watch, understanding that it's very early in production, understanding these shots may not ever even make their way into the movie. That's happened before too, you guys. I'm sure you've seen examples where you watch a trailer for a movie or a show, and it's happened with movies repeatedly, where you go watch the trailer, you go to the movie, and the scene's not even in there. Like, I've been looking for the thing, and it wasn't in there. That could happen, right? Because this is so early. And you get some of these shots. Maybe it wouldn't even make the movie. But one of the shots here is a bit of a fantastic giveaway. We saw Zeb in season 3 of The Mandalorian. Zeb right here. He's from Rebels, and we saw him in the cantina at the bar place. Well, we see here he is in the pilot seat of a Razor Crest model ship, and in the trailer or in the sizzler reel that they showed, you saw this thing fly through. And there are some differences. If you go back to the Razor Crest, like the model I have here on my desk, right? The HasLab project, the Razor Crest here, and the one you see there, there's some differences for sure. Painting's different. It looks like it also had a different kind of nose piece on it and on the front. Lots of things like that are going to be different, but you can see that is definitely a Razor Crest even in here. So you got Zeb in the pilot seat, Mando and Grogu standing just behind. And of course, there's the doorway. You get back into it, but there's the engine off the side. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Maybe Zeb is a used spaceship salesman. He's taking them for a little test drive of this Razor Crest, and Mando's wanting to haggle. Right? They're going to buy this thing. I don't know. But wow. I am very happy that they have brought a Razor Crest back into the show. You know, we've got X-Wings, lots of them. TIE fighters, lots of them. Even the Falcon is a Corellian YT. Oh, shoot. I just forgot the model number. But they made lots of them. And then they, right, a lot of them didn't make it. And of course, the Falcon is iconic in that they've modded it up. But 1300, thank you, Rural Farm Boy. Yeah, Corellian YT 1300. Yeah. So, why not have more than one Razor Crest? Of course, they exploded the one here. I've got another HasLab Razor Crest sitting in the other room here, and I can feel the value of it increasing. It's getting sweet, right? And they release this movie, and they bring a Razor Crest back into The Mandalorian. If it's got a little bit of a differences, right? Some mods to it, some paint differences. Well, you know what you're going to need. You're going to need yourself another Razor Crest so that you can mod it to look like the one from the movie. You know who's got one for sale? Oh, Santa does. Santa does. Oh, my goodness. So very excited for that. Let me get caught up with the chat. There's a couple other things. Yes, that's right. There are a couple other things I want to talk about because we're just barely brushing the surface of the naughty list. We've got some naughty lists here. I saw that Baymax made it into the chat. Good to see you, my friend. And of course, Rural Farm Boy, good to see you as well. We've got and somebody else stopped in to say hi. And I saw it go by, and then I thought, well, I'll go back and I'll acknowledge somebody else come in and said hello. So just catching up with folks. Let's see. Going through the chat, guess getting caught up. Shoot. I know it's in here. Meg's video just released. I'm close to nothing. Let's see. I'm getting caught up. Mando trailer looks awesome. It does. There are places where you can still see that, by the way. There it is. Joshua. Hello. Hello, Joshua. Good to see you. That's who I was looking for. And so I'm very excited for it. I'm looking very much forward to it. But you know, something that I'm also excited for, very, very much looking forward to, is seeing the Rey movie. I'm a huge fan of Rey Skywalker. And I am dying to get information on this movie, to get an update on this movie. And you know what? If you join my Zoom call on Monday, I'll tell you a little something. I got some tea. I could spill some things. There's things I know. And I was hoping they were going to show it at D23. I was hoping we were going to get a big announcement at D23. I was absolutely waiting for it. And it's coming. It's coming. And I saw the question, do I think that Daisy will read the Rey movie script soon? Oh, And this is exactly what Matt Risman's been pointing out, and we've seen it happen over and over again, where they interview Daisy Ridley for a something, and as part of the interview, they say, "Hey, what about that new Star Wars movie? We've heard, you came out at Celebration and people cheered, and they announced you're going to be involved in another movie following the rise of Skywalker. You read the script?" And she goes, "Oh, I haven't read it yet, but it's supposedly in the mail, right? I'm going to meet with them tomorrow. I'm going to see them next week. Well, definitely by next month." This has happened over and over again, and to date, we don't know that she has read a single line of a single script. I think at this point, the only thing we know is that she's been pitched the story and she's excited for it. What she has shared was from things that she was told about it, and she's excited for it. But we've not heard the any details. And to date, she has not read even a draft of the script. So that whole Ray delay thing that Matt Risman is constantly trolling me about, yeah, it's still there. It's still there. We're still waiting for it. I hope she gets it soon. Mike Porter says Ray's getting married and she's taking the surname. Her new name is going to be Ray Gunn. Oh, Mike Porter, the chosen pun. The chosen pun. Yeah, details on Monday. Look, if you guys are one of my Patreon supporters, you've been a member of the channel and you support this channel. We have monthly Zoom calls where I'm able to talk about things offline so that I don't get in trouble and I don't get other people in trouble. Monday is the day. Monday, we'll be posting details about our Zoom, our next Zoom meeting. And if you are on Discord, if you're on Patreon or one of our YouTube memberships, we'll post the link there so you can join that meeting. Don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. If you've missed them before, this is not the one to miss. Santa will be spilling some tea on Monday. So the Ray movie, naughty. Why didn't they tell us? Well, I would say that one reason is they didn't want to suck any oxygen out of the room for Skeleton Crew and the Mandalorian Grogu movie Sizzler that they were sharing. So I understand them holding off. Plus, they've got plenty of time to build some excitement for it. Celebration is coming up in just a few months, and I would expect that the news that has been shared will be made public at Celebration. So look for that. The other thing that we have fans here who are very excited about. I'm excited about it as well. And you see it in the thumbnail. Well, other movie. What about the Levy movie, the Sean Levy movie? I talked to Bespin about this last Friday, a week ago, and we saw the interview that Sean Levy did. He's writing a Star Wars. He's involved in a Star Wars. We know he's doing a Star Wars, even though he said, I can't say if I'm doing a Star Wars. He absolutely is doing a Star Wars. We heard not a peep about it. Celebration. We're going to get that as well. Fitz says, I hope Celebration will be live streamed. I hope that they live stream those announcements as well. The other thing that I'm upset about is no animation announcements. We got nothing on the animation front. We know that they were hiring some folks for animation. We know they were working on some animation, but we got no announcements. Of course, we do have the Lego special coming, right? That's one thing. But what about the rest? Remember, there was talk a long time ago about Tales of the Jedi Season 2. I don't think it was Tales of the Jedi. I think it was Tales of. season 2, which was Tales of the Rebellion, or Tales of the Empire. Tales of the Empire. I think I would expect to hear more, right? Tales of maybe the Rebellion, Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of the Old Republic, Tales of the New Republic, Tales of the Chiss Ascendancy. I'll take all the tales of all the things. How dare you, Star Wars? How dare you? We got nothing. They had an animation panel Saturday. It looked like the agenda for that was not going to cover anything new, and no surprises. We got nothing new. You know, I'm expecting more tales of. I'm expecting more visions. I don't have any information on that, but I would expect it. It's fun, right? It's good. Just like expecting another Lego Star Wars special, I would expect that. But there's more. There's more. And join us Monday on our Zoom call, and I'll tell you, right? Oh, there you go. Join us Monday. I'll tell you more. There's more I know. But why did we not get anything? I would hope that we got something. And, I've put it out there many times. Other people put it out. If you could do a wish list of a Star Wars animated project, what might it be? Would it be, more around the Rebels, or more around the Clone Wars? Maybe the time following the Clone Wars or the Bad Batch up to A New Hope. Maybe right after Return of the Jedi. That would be my wish list. I would love to see something that comes right after Tales or Return of the Jedi. Sorry, but Star Wars animation is their bread and butter. Why would you not mention anything? I know. Look, you're not going to get any complaints from Santa or Yachty, right? We are huge animation fans. Animation has been the source of some of the best Star Wars in recent memory. And why would you not? Right? Yachty, there's a huge animation fan, right? Says no animation. That all would have taken place between now and December, but there's many empty months. I canceled Disney Plus until the next year. I can understand people doing that, canceling for some time. If there's not any content, why are you paying for content to get no content? Joshua says, Tales of the Sith, Tales of the High Republic, Tales of the New Republic, Tales of the Old Republic, there's so many things they could do with the Tales of Tales of moniker, right? There are so many things. It's limitless. Absolutely limitless. And why not do it, right? I pay to feed my rewatch addiction. I pay for much of the same reason, but like I'm watching Young Jedi Adventures now. I'm enjoying it. And there's other Disney Plus content that I enjoy. Like we just watched over the past weekend, the last Planet of the Apes movie. Hadn't seen it. Watched it on Disney Plus. Watched the other movie that Daisy Ridley did, the one where she swims the English Channel. Fantastic movie. Enjoyed it. So lots of things there to enjoy on Disney Plus outside of Star Wars for me. But so it is. So there you go. Animation. Disney Plus just did not deliver. The D23 did not deliver. Kind of sad, disappointing, not something that I expected. But and I honestly, folks, I don't understand why we didn't get an animation. And I understand the whole thing about wanting to promote the upcoming series, right? Skeleton Crew. But my goodness, there's some things that, why not announce another Tales or another Visions, or what the next big animation series is. And, we have some information about what that series might be. And I've mentioned a few ideas, maybe leading up to, take that Kenobi period from the Kenobi movie up to Rebels, or up to New Hope, or the whole time between the Bad Batch and A New Hope. Like, you could just keep going from that. Just so many things that they could have announced as part of that whole D23 and would have at least helped. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is on Disney Plus. That's where I watched it. Here in the US. Joshua says there's rumor for a trailer for the next of the Jedi, for Tales of the Jedi, in the near future, for a second season. I don't know if a second season already happened, and it was called Tales of the Empire, right? I think they're looking at Tales of, as season 1 was Tales of the Jedi, season 2 was Tales of the Empire, season 3 will be the next one, season 4 after that, season 5, right? And we can go with bounty hunters and Sith and Old Republic, New Republic, keep going and keep going and keep going. We could do limitless seasons of Tales of. So I don't know that we're going to get like each one of those count as a different series, where you would say Tales of the Jedi season 2, and then Tales of the Empire season 2, Tales of the Old Republic season 2, Tales of the New Republic season 2, right? It would start to get confusing. And I think they're just going to name every season slightly differently, where you have, as I mentioned, Jedi, all of those. It could be we get a season 2, but we'll see. Skeleton Crew is tapping into Spielberg type crowd. The ones with the wallets willing to spend. Well, maybe. We hope so. Let's see. So animation. Oh, I brought this back up to share, because the other things that they did talk about is Ahsoka. Dave Filoni's still working on the script for that. It's not done. Not to mention the movie that he's got to do that'll come after that, right? It's going to be some time. And then with the Mandalorian and Grogu theatrical movie, May 2026. So look, we're still 18 months out from a movie. It's going to be a time. And with this push towards theatrical releases that Disney is having, I think that we're going to see more push on the theatrical side when it comes to Star Wars content. When we get to Disney Plus live action Star Wars content, I think that that's going to dry up. We certainly have Skeleton Crew coming later this year. We have Andor season 2 coming after that. And then Ahsoka season 2, which certainly will not be in 2025. So if we just start to say 2024, we've already had the Acolyte, and we're going to get Skeleton Crew. Just looking forward, 2024 Skeleton Crew, 2025 Andor season 2, 2026 maybe Ahsoka season 2, and after that maybe nothing, right? Maybe nothing, at least for some time. Maybe Acolyte season 2. I don't know. It's going to be some time, all right? So we'll see. I believe Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is on Disney Plus. If you have Hulu, because of how they link them, then technically it's on Hulu. I don't know. So I have the bundle where it's Disney Plus, Hulu, blah, blah, blah. And my Hulu has ads. My Disney Plus does not have ads. And when I watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, it had no ads. And I launched it from the Disney Plus main menu. So I don't know if it's, what server it's going to, how it got directed after that. But I did watch it with no ads. So I don't know if it's on there or not. I don't know how that goes. Um, do you think there will be an episode 10, 11, 12 within the next decade with the movies? No, I don't. I think they're going to move away from the Skywalker saga. If you look at episodes 1 through 9 and you were to book them off as the Skywalker saga, an episode 10 would indicate that there's a continuation of that saga. And while Rey took the adopted name of Skywalker, and she, Luke and Leia were her mentors, and their Force ghosts were there when she saw them on Tatooine, and she gave herself the Skywalker name. I don't think continuing her story continues the Skywalker saga as you would go with Anakin and Luke, and then technically that would follow on with Leia through Ben Solo. Ben is dead, Leia is dead, Luke is dead, Anakin is dead. The other half of that would be the Emperor Palpatine. Palpatine is dead, hopefully dead, like to stay dead. But, nobody's ever really gone. Who knows? But I do not think they're going to continue on with a 10, 11, 12. I don't. Thrawn Kill, calling it now. We're getting a version of Mara Jade in the next Ahsoka. Oh, I see where you're going with that. Thrawn Kill. By the way, you guys know I've been trying on our Patreon to cover the Fate of the Jedi series. I've been way behind. I've been wanting to get started on that again. Just haven't had a chance. I'm hoping within the next few days, within the next week, to get back to that Fate of the Jedi. Fate of the Jedi picks up on the Abeloth line that a lot of people think may be part of what's going on over in Peridia. I'm not sure. Mara Jade, a version of Mara Jade, maybe a love interest of Luke's, who becomes part of why he ends up on Octo. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure, but they have borrowed other things from those novels, and Thrawn most notably, but even other aspects that have worked themselves into Rebels, for example, with the Nogri and with Coruscant, and all kinds of things have worked their way in. And you may even say that the other guy, he's a bit of a smuggler guy, was involved with Mara at some point. I can't remember his name right now. Almost had it. But anyway, versions of him may have come. Will we get an Ahsoka season 3? I don't know. I really don't know. Thrawn Kill, Acolyte's a one season wonder. Maybe. It may be. Kieran says it's on Disney Plus here in Ireland. Yeah, I think that's the case, that that Planet of the Apes is on Disney Plus, and maybe also on Hulu, but Disney Plus. Love them to release Star Wars detours. Me too. I would love that. I don't think they're ever gonna. Matt Risman says, yeah, that was Hulu. I have the bundle also, and same experience. Internationally, Kingdom is on Disney Plus directly. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Get caught up with the chat. Luke could have a son, perhaps. Maybe. I've seen that. I think. Josh Lucas, Den of Nerds. Are you Josh Lucas? Joshua? Is it you? Is it, now that you're a dad, you're going by Joshua? Is that you? I don't think. I'm kidding. I don't think you're Josh Lucas. I'm just Maul in live action again. I would love. I almost brought it up, but I didn't. There's a the at D23. Somebody interviewed Alden Ehrenreich, and he is absolutely on board, 100% on board for returning as Solo, as Han Solo. And you know, at the end of that movie, there was a Maul cameo, and it kind of teased uh, more, right? And we have heard nothing about Talon Card. That's it, Thrawn Kill. Talon Card is who I was trying to think of before. We have other versions of smugglers in Star Wars. In fact, we may get one in Skeleton Crew, but we'll see. Talon Card, that's who I was trying to remember. But Maul in live action would come if they actually did more of that story following Solo, which I would absolutely love. I would love to see it. Let's see. Make Solo 2 happen. Yes. Yeah, I thought he did a good. It took some getting used to for me, but then it did. Yeah, he's no Harrison Ford, but he did a great Han Solo, and you just kind of got to get used to it, right? Once you do, then it's good. All right, you guys. I think there is where I'm going to cut it today. We've passed our time. I've had a great time hanging out with you. I cannot stress enough, if you support this channel as one of our patrons, as one of our YouTube members, Monday, you don't want to miss it, right? Monday, I've got tea. Would love to see you there. We do have a dad joke, but I wanted to say this. Share the channel out. Consider supporting us on Patreon. Patreon is the best place to support any content creator, whether it's me or Making Star Wars. My friend Bespin, who was here last week, Star Wars Meg. The best place to support a content creator is on Patreon, and there's a reason for that. YouTube, your super chats, your support, your membership, YouTube takes almost 40% of that right off the top. So your content creator that you're supporting through your YouTube memberships is tremendous. It helps YouTube want to promote that out. It helps YouTube want to make that content known. But your content creator that you're supporting is only getting about 60% of that. If you go to Patreon, that same dollar that you share on YouTube, Patreon only takes 15%. So your content creator is getting 85% of your support. That's who you're supporting. That you're not thinking, let me give YouTube 40% of this this super chat, or give YouTube 40% of this membership. But that's what they're taking. That's what they're taking right off the top. And we get pennies, just pennies for the ads. So Patreon, if you support this channel on Patreon, I try to make that worth your while. And just for $1, you can support us. So appreciate that. We have a Mike Porter dad joke. And this cracked me up because this morning, the very first message I got from Mike Porter, he DM'd me this morning. He said, I'm going to read it directly here. He said, Santa, go ahead and put your hands on your forehead. And he sent the emoji. Said, that was before he sent the dad joke. That was the very first, not good morning. Hey, Santa, how you doing? Hey, Brian, good to see you today. No, the very first thing Mike Porter said was, go ahead, put your hand on your forehead. Brace yourselves, right? The chosen pun. You guys ready for the Mike Porter dad joke? Are you braced? Go ahead, do as Mike says. Go ahead, put your hands on your forehead, right? Just prepare yourself for it. All right, here it comes. What is a horse's favorite Star Wars character? What could that be? What character would a horse? What character would a horse think is their favorite of all Star Wars characters? Well, that'd be Princess Leia. Princess Leia. Mike Porter, thank you for the dad joke, my friend. I thought it was hilarious. Good fun. Good fun, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Love all of you so much. Can't thank you enough for being here. And look forward to talking to you about Star Wars, talking with all of you about Star Wars again soon. Have a wonderful, blessed day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and take care. Right, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, my friends, Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you always. Bye bye.